Welcome to step 6 of the Clarity tutorial. In this segment, we'll show you how to set up actions and categories inside Clarity. Make sure and take a look at step 5 for a preview and to see how it can help manage your business. Let's get started. Go to clarity-crm.com. Enter your login information and let's get to the home page. Under the Home tab, there's a Manage menu button at the top. Expand the Manage menu by selecting it and then click on Actions and Categories. The Manage Pipeline screen is where the primary user will establish the workflow model that mirrors how they do their business process from beginning to end. Here, we have 3 categories ready to work with. Now, bear in mind this is just a starting place and an example. Learn how to manage these categories and then develop your own in the future to model your workflow and business process. In this example, the New category will be a starting place for all of your new leads or contacts. Attempting to contact is where the leads go once you've made an attempt to call them. And then, of course, the contacted represents those leads that you have started a conversation with. There are no actions associated with these categories yet, but we'll set those up in a few moments and you'll see how they come into play. For this example, we need to add at least one more category to show clients with completed transactions. This will logically finish out the workflow model. Click New category at the top and let's see what this looks like. In here, let's name the new category Completed. You can choose a color if you'd like in the next box. We chose blue for this example just to show you the difference. If none is chosen, it just defaults to black. Now click Add Category and then Close. Now you should see 4 categories listed. Here's what's going on with this basic setup. This will show a category for new clients and how they will transition to the Attempting Contact category once a user attempts a first call. After an initial contact, the client will transition to the Contacted category, and we're assuming they're an active client at this point. Once the transaction is finalized, an action is taken and it moves to the Completed category. Again, this is a very basic setup, but it still has powerful possibilities. For example, think of the marketing that you can do for these now defined client categories. Next, we need to set up action steps. These actions will dictate when a client moves from one category to the next. You'll start seeing the workflow model come together once these actions are added. Click on the New Action button inside the New Category bucket. Add these action titles to the new category and then click Close. Here's what the first category box looks like with the new action statements listed inside the box. You'll also notice that new options show up to the right, but let's start on the far left. On the left of the newly listed action statements, there are checkboxes. You have to check the boxes to activate those action steps. In other words, turn them on and off here. Once turned on, these will show in the drop-down boxes in the Contact Input screen for clarity. I'll pull those up at the end so you'll know why these need to be active. Next, the up and down arrows to the left are there in case you want to move the order of those actions within the category. Let's look at the Change Category section just to the right of the category box. Here again are checkboxes to turn these options on and off. Then we have the drop-down boxes. In this list, there are 4 categories that have been created for this example. What we're doing with this is choosing which category the client will move to once an action listed to the left is taken. So if there's an attempt to contact selected, the lead will move to the Attempted Contact category. If there is a contact made, then it moves to the Contact category instead of the Attempting Contact category. Let's finish filling this out. Now, adding a check to the boxes to the immediate right are primarily used for a basis of analysis and reporting. Remember the activity bar at the top of the home page? It's just a good way to see how you or your team is doing throughout the day. So simply put a check in the box that qualifies this action as a contact attempt and/or a contact made. Again, this correlates with the activity bar at the top right of the home page. For now, we're going to skip over the qualifier section. This has a lot more to do with advanced reporting options. If you have those types of needs, contact support to get more information. Let's jump to the Comment and Calendar Required section. When an action step is taken, you have the option to require a comment to be made before the lead can be closed. For example, if a client cannot commit to an agreement, you may want to know why, so you can address this or refresh your memory later. That is where the Calendar Event Required option comes in handy as well. So in this case, it looks like we're setting up a comment requirement and a calendar requirement to ensure follow-up for later. These are just actions to help your team work your business model and manage a level of best practices with a higher level of unity and performance. For the sake of time, I have completed the other categories, actions, and marked the appropriate boxes. This is just an example of how this might flow in a basic setting, but your business model may have other segues that permit for your ideology. For instance, you may have clients that require a service, or others that require a product, and different types of follow-up messages and material. The category list can be added to and arranged to accommodate your needs as simple or as complex as you need. This example is done for now. Let's go back to the home page and click New Contact from the shortcut buttons at the top of the page, and let's look at the drop-down list in the action bar. It should contain the actions we've created for the new category list. Here you can see the actions you have added to the new contact category. Just to reiterate what happens when a new lead is contacted, the user will select Contacted under the action bar at the top of the lead and then press Perform Action. This will take the lead out of the new lead category and transfer it to the contacted category. Remember, we talked about this analogy in step 5. This action will also require a comment about what is going on with this transaction. It will also require a calendar event to be scheduled for a follow-up call so that the sale and a satisfied new client is not missed. I hope this is starting to make a little sense. This is about dictating how your workflow works best for you and setting up clarity to follow that precisely to your business model. Let's move on to step 7, which is about adding tabs to the home screen. These tabs correlate to these categories we've just created for a quick view of clients that are listed in these categories. Please feel free to contact support with additional questions, and thank you for building your network with clarity.